What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a title called StarRupture. I've been eagerly waiting for this one because this is one of those games that combines some of the best aspects of a game like Satisfactory with an open-world survival RPG where you're leveling up your stats and trying to make it through a hostile death world in order to hit your dystopian corporate quotas. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the game for about 30 minutes. I've been playing for around 2.5 hours right now, I think, and I'm ready to tender my initial impressions of the game. But if after watching this, you wanted to get the game for yourself, I got a link for you down below in the description where you could check it out and figure out whether or not this is one of those games you wanted to throw onto your wish list. On top of that, I've got a whole bunch of other Nerd Castle links down there that are pretty rad if you wanted to go ahead and give them a click. But let's dive on in. I'm going to load up my save. I'll give you the brief synopsis of what I've been working on. I'm kind of more or less in the same spot that I was the last time we played the game with a few extra buildings, but I do think there's a lot of things about this game that are pretty fun. So welcome to StarRupture. This is my little base, and it's going to look familiar to the last time that we got into that playtest where we were allowed to check out all the various stuff about this game. As I previously mentioned, this at its core is like Satisfactory with a ton of combat inside of it. So if you took Satisfactory and you put it on like a Tyranid world from Warhammer 40k, that's basically where we are. Numerous corporate attempts have been made to civilize this planet and actually turn it into a resource extraction outpost. All of them have failed, and we've been sent as a prisoner of the justice system because we're disposable to try it one more time. Now, there are other little settlements and things you can find throughout the map. I haven't found anybody alive just yet, but there are lots of things that we can scavenge out there on the horizon. But for the moment, I've got myself a basic base that I've constructed over here. Inside my base, there's going to be a number of reasons why we need to do manufacturing on this scale that is rapidly expanding inside of my base. Right now, it's only like 7 or 8 conveyor belts, but there's a reason for all of this stuff existing. First and foremost, it's that corporations are going to send us work orders. As we complete those work orders, they're going to give us access to even better technology, splitters, guns, meds, all those kinds of things, but these are my orbital launch platforms right here. They take the stuff that I'm creating and they launch them into space so that we can fill out our XP with different corporations. So right now you can see that I'm exporting copper wire. They call it Wolfram wire, but I've just been calling it copper wire. And every single time one of these wires go out, you'll see like a G+4 right there. That's the corporate emblem of one of the companies, and that's how much XP we're getting with the company each time we do this. Once we hit thresholds, we level up with that company and they give us access to some of their more advanced blueprints. On this side, I'm doing the same thing, except for a different corporation. I'm setting out titanium rods. This is very, very slow right here. It's not working out great. I'm trying to get to better manufacturing processes, but that's why I have storage depots over on this side with splitters that are picking up excess bars from each of my foundries and smelters. That way, I can throw them over here. This is the recipe station right here. Inside the recipe station, it's going to have every single printer and smelter and fabricator, all that kind of stuff that exists inside the game as you unlock them. And then there's going to be advanced recipes that you can unlock by using excess resources that are being produced inside your little factory. On top of that, we do need to collect data points. Data points come from just about everything in this game. So when you kill an alien and you hack off his parts, you can bring them over here into the analyzing station and you can just feed it in over here until you have enough data points to get the next technology that you might desire. Well, I was going to say for right now, though, I'm just waiting for my different bins to fill up. So it's a really good opportunity for us to go out and do some exploration and adventuring, maybe fight with some bugs, throw some grenades, get ourselves into the thick of the fight. But unfortunately, if you take a look at the sun right now, it's about to explode. So this is a planet that is frequently just annihilated by solar particles. Every now and again, we're going to have to hide inside because this place turns into an oven, and if you're outside, that's going to be real bad. They're going to bake you up extra crispy, so I'm just going to hold up inside, and then we'll go out and adventure after, I guess. On the plus side, I did get enough copper bars together to get copper sheets over here, which level up our corporate influence a lot faster, like 3 times as fast. Yeah, the sun's looking a little extra strength cranky right now. I don't know if he got his toast and avocado or whatever it was that the sun likes to eat in the morning. I don't know if he got his Lucky Charms or his honeycomb, but he's looking a little cranky. I'm going back inside. I don't feel like ending up looking like a roasted garlic chicken.
Arcturus core is unstable.
Yep, it certainly looks unstable. And so every now and again, this planet's gonna go through like death and then rebirth. There's plant life everywhere that you can research. Every single time this eruption goes off, Jesus, I see purple spots every time it annihilates the surface. It'll regrow within like a day or two, but for the moment, there's not really much we can do except for like hide out inside and hope that we don't end up with the world's worst 50th degree sunburn. And just like that, it looks like the planet's finally cooling down. Unfortunately, it welded my door shut over here, so I'm gonna have to actually use, like, I don't know if I'm using like nitrogen or what I'm using to cool it down, but we need to get out the front door. That's gonna be very, very helpful. Since visibility is a little bit trash right now, it's gonna be kinda hard to plot a course to one of the adventuring zones, which I promise will be full of all kinds of beasties and nasties that wanna eat my flesh. But if we give it a minute, this fog should clear out. Now, there is a benefit to these eruptions. Anytime one of these eruptions happen, you'll see those little red plumes over there. That's going to be a resource called Igneous or something else like that. It's a very limited resource that you can only get after eruptions. Every single character in this game, of which there's 4, gets to get a little harvesting gun. The harvesting gun has a little mini game baked on into it. You can't really see it right now while I'm harvesting up this stone right here, but were I to go after one of the meteorites or whatever that fell from the sky, you would. Essentially, everything that you can harvest in this game has a sweet spot. As you destroy the sweet spots, the little blue pips fill up. That in turn makes it so your gun harvests faster, thus finishing the harvest operation before you end up having to cool the gun and reload it, because it doesn't really have any natural cooling on its own. Now, as it stands, you can see a big old radar dish over there. I already searched that area. It was kind of fortuitous. Like, there was some stuff over there that was useful, but not really. What's that right there? I didn't even see this. Ooh, there's a cave. Can I climb that? Or do I need like a special resource? I bet there's bad guys down here, dude. This seems like the kind of place where there's gonna be bad guys. Are you gonna climb it? Okay, he's climbing it. I don't have a flashlight or anything, though. Hey, there we go. I knew the game would tell me that I had a flashlight. I don't know if I want to have my gun out down in here. Glow caps, huh? Well, hopefully those are worth good research. Let's have a look around the cave and see if there's anything good inside of here. That thing's giving us a hit marker. I don't know if we want it to give us a hit marker, but it's definitely giving us a hit marker. Maybe if I shoot it.
Reloading.
Nah, it doesn't look like it's going down. Maybe I need a special tool or something. The game does have little, I would guess I would call them Metroidvania influences. That is to say, you'll unlock certain tools at certain points, and those certain tools will allow you to traverse different areas that are normally kind of blocked off from you. Well, we've got some quartz ore down here. Maybe I can research it or something. I don't know. Like, I'd figure just from Earth, we'd know everything there is to know about quartz, just straight off the rip, but maybe there's a few, maybe this quartz is different. I was able to climb up over that gap right there. Is there anything back in this little secret chamber? Oh, there's a dead guy. Fantastic. I'm in a death cave. Perfect. He's got a limb on him. If you don't know what a limb is, in this game, once you get further on in, you get access to a gene editing terminal. Those right there are modified genes that just make you better in certain ways. And as you level up your different stats by doing activities like running, gathering, shooting, fighting, all that kind of stuff, you'll increase more slots where you can put in gene edits to make yourself more likely to be successful in combat. They do stuff like increase your movement speed. They might make you aim faster. They might make it so that you have more endurance or HP. Very, very helpful stuff, but at this point in the game, we don't have access to it. I also went up that mountain right there to that destroyed village, and there was some stuff up there, but let's head off to the east, and maybe, I mean, we don't have to worry about an eruption, which is really, really nice, because there's no timer or meter or anything that tells you when the next eruption is going to happen. It kind of just tells you 2 minutes in advance, and then you got to cheese it back home in the hopes that you don't die horribly. I'm going to gather up all the ignitium as I go this way, and if we find a new location to explore, I'll pull y'all back in. Well, there's something enormous off in the distance right there. Corporate doesn't really give me a whole lot of information about what that might be, but it's definitely there. So maybe we head in that direction. I see some other little wreckages down that way, and it looks like there's kind of a nested city down there too. and so might be worth investigating. I think one thing this game does exceptionally well is that there's like lots of these mountains that give you gorgeous vistas over the course of the entire map. It'll help you plot your course. Oh, there's some detritus over here too. What do we got? So we've got a drone wreck. It's got a damaged logic board. Hey, that's 400 research. I'll take it. Anything that allows me to skip the line when it comes to manufacturing stuff for corporations. I think I can jump this. And then if I use my booster, yeah, just right at the right moment. What is this right here? Oh, it's just titanium. It's just catching the light weird. I don't know, it looks all rainbowy, dude. It looks like the kind of thing that you'd make a Mario Kart course out of. You're trying to tell me that if you were walking along and you saw a giant pile of just prismatic, colorful crystals like that, you wouldn't be instantly excited? It's baked into us, bro. We are all cavemen and we like the shinies. Ow.
Ouch!
Watch out for the red plants.
For a super advanced artificial intelligence, you're surprisingly slow with your warnings.
Ow. Okay, it looks like I'm not allowed to step on red fern. Maybe I've got to burn it all off. I don't know. I haven't come across this hazard yet. This is part of exploring alien planets, is that sometimes there's going to be real gnarly stuff around that looks fairly innocuous, but the second you get near to it, tries to have you murdered. I'm going to break out the Glock real quick because one thing... Yeah, there's bugs right there. They are... Oh, there's one right there. Got him. Okay, he's down. The game is quite bloody if you like games where you can shoot chunks off giant bugs, Helldivers style. This is that kind of game, and I'm guessing when we get to a certain point in the storyline progress, I haven't even honestly found the underlying narrative of the game just yet, Subnautica style. All I know is I'm a prisoner that's been doomed to be put on this planet and send iron bars back into space to make people happy that are way richer than I am, but there's been like these little breadcrumbs every now and again. I found this giant obsidian-looking obelisk in the middle of nowhere, and when I got near it, it like super irradiated me. And my AI was just like, hey, don't pay attention to that. Don't worry about that. That's nothing. And so I'm guessing there's going to be a prevailing storyline that comes out as we get further into the game as well. Yeah, this area is looking positively littered with goodies. So I see a drone crate over there. There's a whole bunch of bugs down in the gully. So we're going to have to watch out for that. These guys, you're never safe from them, by the way. They hop, they jump. Their pathfinding is very, very good. Oh boy, I don't know if I want to fight them over here. This might be a mistake. Yeah, just kind of like ventilate them. Oh, they got the shooters too out here. All right, they got the shooters in the street. I got to get the shooters, otherwise my shield's going to go down, and it's going to be... If you could stop jumping around, I'd really appreciate that. The little green ones, man, they hop all over the place, and then they spit at you. It can be kind of a headache. Is somebody chewing on me right now? Oh, I'm getting chewed on by many things. Beautiful. I apparently have the most delicious ankles in all the galaxy. Is that all of them? We do want to pick up bug parts while we're out here, too. You'll see little chunkies laying around the corpses from time to time. Each one will give you 10 research, and it adds up if you've been in a really combat-heavy adventure. All right, give me that right there. Unfortunately, that is going to negatively impact our ability to carry stuff. I still have combat music, which leads me to believe that we're not quite out of the woods just yet, but let's pop a few more of them until the music goes a little bit calmer. I'm going to see if I can loot something from in here. We got an item printer. Those are building materials that we just pulled out of there. We also have a mainframe that'll probably give us a little bit of storyline exposition. This outpost was, I guess, under super attack by the bugs. And we can take a rough stab at guessing who won because everybody here looks pretty dead. Nothing really too great up in here. Really what we're looking for is we're looking for machine parts that will increase our research value from the planet when we send them back to corporate. That way we can actually get ourselves down the tech tree faster. But lots of building materials, so that's good. That saves me time sitting around with a mining tool, trying to find more stuff to build a base out of. There we go, a damaged logic board. That's exactly what I'm looking for. That's the good stuff right there. 500 research thrown in the bag. There's a lot of red fern down there. I don't know if I want to go down there. Could end up kind of chaotic. As you can see, there are different types of bugs. There's explodey bugs. The explodey bugs, they put down a gas cloud that hurts you, and if other bugs walk through it, they start glowing blue and being intense, and they get a lot faster and a lot more damaging. I usually want to target those last if you can manage it, but if I can pick off a few down here inside the gully. I've only got like 180 rounds left, so I'm a little bit worried I'm going to run out of ammo before... Oh, God. I'm worried I'm going to run out of ammo before we get done with all these little arachnid turds. Are they arachnids? No, it looks like they got 6 legs, so they're just insectoid turds. I was being imprecise with my scientific turd designation. Does this just have building supplies? Oh, no, it's got a logic board in it. I'll take that. All right, well, we'll jump down to this level. I don't know what the hell is going on over there, but I'm going to guess it's not breathable. They got the alien piss cloud thing happening over on that side that makes me feel nervous. We did kill a lot of the stuff that was down here, though, so maybe it'll be okay. And we were able to avoid the red fern, which is really... I don't want to run out of energy down here and die. Dead body, you got anything? Yeah, war bonds. War bonds are like money in this game. You can spend them at an upgrade terminal for your weapons and gear. More building parts. What is that? An unknown vial. Hey, anything that can be analyzed, I'm happy with. Let's get it. Rubble pile right there. What's that?
Alex, come in.
What's up?
Just as I thought. The core's overloaded.
Nicolas said everything was okay.
I think Nicholas is not okay.
I'm gonna kill him. Do you know where he is?
I bet he's out gathering those plants of his. Either way, he's out of range. I can try texting him.
All right, never mind. I'm gonna report this.
I'd hold off. If he finds out you reported him again, he won't fix the core.
Okay, so we wait for him. He fixes the core, I report him to Clever, and then I kill him.
Maybe you should just break his legs, so he doesn't keep going to and fro.
Okay, so we wait for him. He fixes the core, I report him, kill him. We print him a new sleeve, and then I break him.
That's fair. We've all kind of felt that way about certain co-workers named Dave at jobs that we had. What's on that? Verdict in the case of the attack on the Deputy Commissioner Tsunoda. That tablet was just explaining that the universe, it functions under altered carbon rules. So you'll see them throw around the term sleeve in this game. In this title, we're far enough in the future that humanity is immortal. Everybody has a little device at the base of their spine. And that device can be implanted into other human clones that you purchase for yourself of various sexinesses. And then once they put the disc in, it just transfers your consciousness. And so, altered carbon rules. We got, other more salvageables over here. Do we have more bugs on this side, though? I see something purpley-wurpley right there. Oh, it's not a hostile. It's just a mushroom. I'm terrified of mushrooms. This is going to be bad for me, isn't it? Yeah, corrosion. That sounds like fun. I love being slowly corroded and reduced into a fluid. I need to find some stuff that's actually going to increase the hazard protection of my suit before I can go into some of these very, very bad areas. I'd also like to make myself a new gun. Something that's got like an automatic switch selector on it. That way I can just buck, take care of business. Let me see if I can navigate my way around the red fern over here. If I can stay away from it and just not step on it, we may be able to access that spot over here where there was a downed drone, and research is research. At least that's my opinion about it. But now that we've gotten this adventure out of our system, I do want to press out further. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure my storage bins are more than likely full at this point. Ooh, 400 science off that one. Good. So I'm going to run back to base. We're going to do our research. We're going to figure out what we can advance and what we can do to make ourselves more sophisticated. Maybe look up the possibility of making ourselves a new gun. I don't know if it unlocks my pistol unlock from the corporate track, and it just got added to me. Like, the pistol takes up no space in my inventory. It's just a utility tool that you have on you. So I don't know if the other guns are going to follow in that exact same way, but it is something that I'd like to investigate. And then we need to set up a little bit more production back at home so that we're leveling up with corporations a little bit quicker. We do need to show off the building system in this game before we... Oh my god, there's so many of them. I actually, honestly, I kind of like killing them with the excavator. I feel like the excavator sometimes kills them a little bit faster at the cost of like a very long reload speed. So many shooters in these streets, man. Any more of them left around? Did they drop any parts? They did. Give me that real quick. Where's that little jolly green giant over here? All right, they're down. Let me pick up their parts, and then back to base we go before this gets any more rowdy. What is that? Can I harvest that? A grubbler?
Is that?
You may have noticed that our character has commentary on the things that are happening. There are 4 different characters in this game that you can play, and I assume, based on the level of detail I've seen in this title so far, they are all going to react to situations differently because they all come from different backgrounds. So my character is the scientist, there's also a botanist, there's an engineer, and there's a soldier. I don't know if those things...
Geoscanner initialized.
Oh. Is that bad? Oh, that's super bad, dude. I shouldn't have done what I did. They're going to come after me, huh? That set up like seismic waves. But as I was saying, there are different guys with different... there's different guys with different professions in this game and different voice actors. The voice acting and the storyline narrative has been quite good so far from what little I've uncovered. The voice actors very, very professional, very convincing. Come on, gun him down. Oh, Jesus. All right, so... Got you.
Reloading.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to need a bigger gun for this to work out. Just spray that one down. Luckily, our shield is pretty thick on our suit, and it regenerates in a very, very generous way, so I'm not that worried about actually getting taken out. That was a bad idea because when they walked through the blue mist... Oh, never mind. Blue mist killed them all. Ew, I'm being infected. Get out of here. Are we good? Nope, we're not good. I just saw another one jump in.
Geoscanning complete. Data acquired. Map updated.
Okay, well that's helpful. I appreciate it. This is our Assassin's Creed Ubisoft version of climbing a tower and going squaw and jumping into a pile of hay. Unfortunately, in this case, it's jumping into a pile of giant murderous space bugs that definitely want to eat my face. The good news is it cleared out a big chunk of the map and showed us a whole bunch of points of interest, which I think will be helpful. There's our dead guy. He's got a damaged personal interface and 99 bullets. That's actually super helpful. I was not looking forward to going home and wasting building materials trying to make more shooties. Oh, there's one of the obelisks right there. You find them periodically. I don't know what they do or what they're from or how we interact with them. Like, it doesn't look like you can harvest them, and so I'm assuming there's some kind of node thing that we can put on top of them that maybe harvests research. I don't know. They look pretty alien to me. Drone wreck? Hey, more research is more research. Back to the base we go. I absolutely love how long your view line is in this game. Usually, sight lines in games are super short and they're super, like, occluded with fog a lot of the time. In this game, they managed to make it all look natural, and you can still see super far. And I haven't really had any performance hits along the way, just from monitoring my task manager during this play session versus the playtest. In the playtest, a big issue I ran into was the game's CPU usage was absolutely through the roof to the point where it was lagging out both my recording software and my voice recording software, which meant that I had to resync the video every 2 or 3 minutes. While I was editing it on out, it was a giant pain in the butt to save that footage. This time around, we're cruising at a nice and smooth, like 13% CPU usage, so that's pretty fire. I definitely like that. So back at base, we're going to want to give some contemplation to our inputs and our outputs, but first, let's bang out all of our research. That way we know how many points we're playing around with when it comes to unlocking new stuff and new things. So inside the analyzer over here, I'm going to drink a couple of these bulbs and hopefully get my water meter filled back up. It looks like I'm kind of hungry right now too, so I'll just eat one of the protein bars that I found on a dead guy. We want to put all this stuff in here. 800 data points. Okay, all right, I see what you're working with. I do wish that there was multiple slots on the analyzer. That's why I could click everything in and just kind of get myself paid. I need that though for upgrading my base core so I can get better defenses. It looks like those mushrooms that we pulled out of the cave, they are worth a lot of research, and this is really kind of the core way that this title gets you hooked. And so if you're not super into the manufacturing in this game, you can just bypass it by adventuring all the time and dropping off your research in order to fill up your meter, rather than spending a whole bunch of time setting up manufacturing chains. It strikes a nice balance between rewarding exploration by giving you free level ups with corporations, and also just having a nice trickle of progress going from the factories that you've built thus far. I very much like the way that those two little things interact with each other. When I get tired of building stuff, I go out and I adventure. When I get tired of adventuring, I come back and I build some more stuff. And it's kind of a hook that keeps you into the game. It's very addictive. So from over here, we're sending them rods, but I don't think that the rods are really giving us the best XP output that we could possibly get. Instead, let me see. So what did I have over here? I think what I wanted to do was, I think we have the copper sheets now, which will give us 15 XP per delivery. We do, yeah, we have the copper sheets. We don't have the titanium sheets yet, but I think I can get the titanium sheets right now if I just loot my overflow. So I've made these little overflow receptacles that keep extra ingots inside of there, just in case I need them. Let's grab like 300 ingots and see if that'll finish off our work order for the titanium plates. And then if we can upgrade to plates, we'll be getting 3 times as much XP every time our little minecarts drop stuff off. So throw that into the fabricator over here, and there we go. We can now make titanium sheets. I haven't found the blueprints for these yet, for like stabilizers and like rotors and stuff like that, but like hoping I find them soon. What other things can I potentially smelt out? So we can get calcium blocks if we can pull 1,000 calcium ore, but I don't have any ore in my starting area. We've also got advanced building materials and power cells inside of here, the use for which I am actually not aware of. So I'm not going to work on those until I know they're ready to go. You've got wall-mounted storage in this game. I love it. Wall-mounted storage is the best type of storage. Now with my inventory all nice and cleared out, I think we should be able to focus our attentions on other things. I think I would like to upgrade my progress with Griffith's Blue, so I'm going to spend the rest of my research on that to get the equipment upgrade station. That way I can sort of just drop it over on this side. The game does have some audio problems. It had this in the playtest as well, where if there's multiple voice actors going at the same time, and then you trigger another event, they don't queue up to be played one after the other. Instead, they all just play simultaneously, so it sounds like you've got 1,000 voices talking to you. I do have enough to afford an assault rifle, I think, and so I'd like to do that while I'm here. Assault rifle? How do I get you? There we go. Unlock the assault rifle. Hell yeah. And then there's little modular parts and stuff you can buy for it too that make the gun perform differently, or like slap a flashlight on it or whatever. Ever since Tarkov and Call of Duty started adding modular weaponry, every game's got to do it. It's just the way that it works. Build that thing for me, baby. All right, so now we've got ourselves a real boy's gun. Unfortunately, I don't have real boy ammo right now, and so I would like to have real boy ammo. Let me see if I can build some over here in the fabricator. Have we unlocked that yet? We can make standard ammo, but it takes wolfram powder, which we don't have access to just yet. I need to figure out where that comes from so that we can have access to it. I can't make wolfram powder inside the smelter, so it's gotta be like a furnace maybe. I bet it's the furnace because I'm in the process of upgrading and buying the furnace from other spots. Give me wolfram plates over here and let's change our output. That way it goes a little bit faster. And then I'll build some manufactorums over here. So let's send them plates instead. It's gonna kick out the remainder to me. And then over on this side, we also wanna start kicking out titanium sheets. That way we're getting way better XP per production before things go a little bit crazy on us. So swap over to the 15s each. Got a whole bunch of things inside my inventory that I don't really want to carry around, but gunfire in this game does feel pretty good. I haven't really had any problem with the ballistics. It's definitely more of an arcadey Battlefield or Call of Duty style shooting, but it feels fine. It feels satisfying and I'm not upset with it. Let's build up a few more things to extract from the planet here. So I've got myself, I can put you right there. Okay, let's do that. And then what I'm gonna need from you is, I'm gonna need another smelter to go like over here and just kind of skeef around the back of that. And once we've got the smelter, I would like to get another fabricator. We'll put the fabricator right there, nice and lined up. The grid lines in this game, very, very visible. I like that a ton too. Things snap together very well. It's super easy to build inside of this game, so don't stress about it. Like building things, not a problem at all, but the other thing that we're gonna need is we're gonna need some more orbital cargo launchers, unfortunately. So I'll go a cargo launcher right there, and I'll go with a cargo launcher. I don't have enough building materials. That's okay, I can remedy that. There we go, 1,000 more building materials ready to rock, because I'd like to have multiple outputs pushing at the same time for multiple different corporations. Like, if I could level up 5 corporations all at the same time, I feel like I could be happy with that number. Let's have you nestle on down there. I don't think it'll go any lower. Yeah, it won't go any lower, so we got to put it right there. And then the other downside is we got to power this whole thing. So, like, where's my electrical grid at? So these need to be connected. You can run power wires in a way, but for the moment, I've been staying away from it and just having them directly connect to my outputs. And then everything we attach to this will feed into the power grid through the rails that we have available. Throw that in right there and throw that in right there. Perfect. I don't know how many more of these things I have, but this should all be powered now. And so with our first production output over on this side, let's grab conveyor belts. And normally I don't really like conveyor belt style games. I don't know if I've mentioned this on the channel before. I tend to not like titles like this, but that's because titles like this tend to be devoid of any combat or whatever else. And, like, if there's no combat in a game, I just find it hard to care. I'll probably have that over there. That way I can take over that and have it run to the one on the right. But let's select an output real quick and make sure that this is cooking into something. So they want titanium sheets. They want all ceramics. But Clever Robotics, they want Wolfram plates. And I think that works out okay. Yeah, let's just send them plates. And I've got to set up the outputs on all of these different things before it'll work. So there's Wolfram plate right there. And then we go over here. We tell that to spit out some Wolfram bars. And production should begin. There you go. It just clicks on all by its lonesome. Very, very little overhead required. Now, if I can get another titanium mine down, I'm probably going to have to spaghetti base a solution here. I don't want to spaghetti base a solution, so instead I'm going to tear this guy down to get my parts back, and then I'm going to come over to this side, and we are just going to kind of jimmy rig something together. It's probably not going to look pretty, but hey, we ain't in the business of pretty. We in the business of making money and paying off our debt to society. So we're going to need another excavator over here. We're going to have it face that way instead. We're going to have a smelter that we will set up maybe like so. I don't know. This is going to be a little cramped and crowded back here. I don't see a whole lot of ways to get around it. Another fabricator. We'll drop that down by a few layers. And then if I can, actually, can I just have the fabricator attached to that guy? I can. It's not pretty, but it works. Okay. I need more outputs going out to some of these corporations that I'm not working with right now. And the more of this I can get done, the happier I will be. I'll come back in and I'll come up with a more efficient setup later on down the line. But for now, it's all about just getting stuff cooking. Okay, so for you, Griffith's Blue, you're going to send in, so we got 17,000 till they're done. Let's go with the Selenium Corporation. I've been getting behind with them, and I just dumped a bunch of research into the weapons manufacturer. Every now and again, I do get a graphical flicker. I don't know if you saw it right there. I don't know what causes it. It mostly seems to be caused by just the building system. Occasionally, you get like these weird graphical artifact flickers. I've verified that it's not my graphics card, so it's something inside the game. But God, wouldn't that be a nightmare with graphics card prices right now? Exactly what I need, man. A graphics card to burn out on me and just be like, witness me! And be about its business at just exactly the wrong time. The other thing that I wanted to investigate is we need to get that Wolfram powder. Like, the Wolfram powder is going to be sort of vital for us to make enough ammunition for the Doc right here that it's going to be a reliable companion when we're out in the field. And so let me dig around and see if I can find that. Wolfram powder does indeed come from the Selenium Corporation, so we need to get some research for these guys. That means it's probably about time to go out on excursion. I know what direction I'm going to go in, but it's been a little while. It's been almost like an hour since our last eruption at the beginning of the video. I think we may get caught out in an actual flaming shit turd storm, and I would rather not get shitstorm turded right now. It looked to me like there was a little path that led up this way. I love that you've got the little alluvial fans out here. Ooh, we've got like a saucy green area over here. What's up with the greeniness? Is the greeniness bad for me? Does it make my stomach feel upset? Yeah, that's a much better weapon. I'm glad that we have this. Unfortunately, I've got very limited ammo for it for right now, but I do appreciate its ability to kill fast. I feel like my aim sensitivity is too low. Like, I play a lot of first-person shooters, and I tend to have a very, very, very high sensitivity. I just prefer to play it that way. And it's one of those things before I jumped into the game that I just didn't fiddle with, and I should have. Oh, it's irradiated over there, so we're going to need a radiation hazard suit. As I get further out of field, I'm coming to the conclusion that we're actually surrounded by radiation on pretty much all sides. I've done a full tour around the mountain right now, and the radiation just does not stop. For reference, I've been cruising for about 10 minutes in between cuts, and there's a lot of radiation out here. If you're looking to grow yourself a new hand or maybe some fun radioactive accessories on the old ween, this is probably the place to do it. Could start lighting off these beacons,
Geoscanner initialized.
but it's tough to say what benefit I'm getting out of this. I think it just lights off a radius so that you can see stuff coming. And I've more or less, because I'm an explorer type when it comes to my Skinner boxes that I respond to, I like exploration. So there's a strong chance that I've already explored everything over here. Are they trying to attack the machine, or are they trying to attack me? Me now that they see me, but previously not the machine. Oh, I'm infected. Is it draining my health or anything? I hope not. How do I know when this thing's done? This thing, like, finished off yet? 71%. It's got a giant number on the side of it. I would have noticed that if I was indeed literate. Alas. There's kindergarten failed me. I would like to fend off no further waves if we can manage it. There we go. Finish that off real quick. I am fully infected. I don't know what being fully infected actually does, but listen, man, you're making this more difficult than it needs to be. Just pop for me, would you? Alright, so another one done, and yeah, it looks like it just kind of fills in the area around here. It sort of looks like we might be able to go north from here, but I'm not positive I can make it over that mountain crevasse before another firestorm comes in. That's what's got me kind of worried. The good news is, now that I'm back at base, we're leveling much more rapidly now that we're getting 15 points of drop-off. So I think it was worth it to take the time to do all of that research. The Moon Corporation's still going to be kind of a pain in the ass to level up, but it looks like they've got access to a lot of the really good technologies that I want. The problem is, I don't really have a reliable way to get ceramics back to the base, and I don't know if that means that I'm just going to have to run a ridiculously long rail all the way over here to begin the processing efforts, but I could make a satellite base over there, and in making the satellite base with just like a very light habitat or whatever, I might be able to just have it be self-sustaining. The downside is it can come under attack by bugs, and I don't have access to the defense network yet. So defense turrets at level 6, and I don't have that, and I'm a little bit apprehensive about building areas that I've got to run out and protect because they're super far away. So that's kind of where I'm at with that right now. I don't know what happens when we hit max level with these guys. I'm guessing the game just kind of like continues, but no clue for the moment. There's got to be some way for us to wipe out the radiation and get that out of the way. So that's probably going to be one of the future objectives, just to get things handled. I think all my machines shut down during the firestorm anyways, so let's just wait it out inside. Another horrendous firestorm survived. I don't really know what my goals are right now, but I do need to set up my manufacturing so that we're still getting XP. I didn't get nearly enough research for me to move along the tech tree, so like, that's just kind of the way that it goes. It sent me the Wolfram plates, huh? We got anything else over here that'll take Wolfram plates? There you go. We're only getting 12 for those, but I'll load them up just so something's happening. This guy, are you still doing your thing? You're still sending off plates too. Probably got like another 2 or 3 minutes until that one's done. Might not be a bad time to go get some magnetium too, dude. or Ignitius or whatever it's called. I need like 1,000 of this to upgrade. That thing right there is my base core. I'm guessing if that gets destroyed, it's a really bad thing. I don't know how the game works with regards to winning and losing, but you can upgrade it to level 2, and the one thing that I'm lacking is just a ton of Ignitium. Like, I have all the other stuff, it's just the Ignitium that I need. I don't know if it's worth farming out right now, but it is something that I require. The Ignitium also gives you like a ridiculous amount of research when you plug it into the research machine. So even if I don't end up using it, it still has utility functions that I can use outside of just building up my base. Actually, it looks like my base core is actually full on Ignitium, so I should be able to take this right here and just plug it in. Yeah, 4,000, 5,000 research. I could definitely use that. Let's throw the 5,000 research at one of our level 4 corporations. We've got war bonds over there, but frankly, I'd like to move in the direction of whatever gives me the furnace. So I'm going to level that up right there. And now that we have the furnace, I can actually manufacture ammo for my assault rifle. That's super good. Now, it looks like that's one of the default plugins for this building. And I have lots and lots of leftover bars, like it's super full over here. So this should be pretty easy to just sneak in over on this side to my bar storage. That way, excess overflow goes to the furnace and gets processed into something we can make bullets out of, which is great because I need many, many more bullets on a planet this dangerous. Oh, it's got tri-bars. Interesting. That's kind of cool. All right, well, I'm not going to worry about it right now. Just go ahead and make Wolfram bars, all right? Unfortunately, I just torpedoed my entire power grid when I did that, so always some kind of problem around here, ain't there? Always some kind of issue and only Splatty to fix it. There we go. Everything all nice and kitted back up. We should be functioning now. Yeah, it's sending all the bars over there. Good. I need as many of these powders as you can give me. All right, we're built for the ruckus now. I've got like 500 rounds. Let's go find something to murder. But while we're putting out ruckus and bringing down pain, I suppose we're sitting like, the video's getting a little bit longer, so I'll talk about what I liked and didn't like about StarRupture. Although I think it's going to be a pretty short talk because honestly, I like the game. I think that I've always sort of craved a Satisfactory style game that was more hostile and combat heavy. And StarRupture knocks down that pin just right for me. I really haven't had any bugs so far. I haven't gotten stuck anywhere, needed to teleport. Performance appears to be much improved since the last time I played the game in the playtest, and everything from the graphics to the sound effects all seem to be very on point. It's a gorgeous game that sounds good to play. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised. We don't really get projects this polished very often in inaugural early access patches, and so I'm pleased. I can't speak to how deep the content goes in this current build, but I've been playing for 3 hours and I do really like the way that they've wrapped both manufacturing, exploration, combat, all of those things like build on each other, and they're all reasonable paths forward in the corporate hierarchy so far in the first few hours. And if you double dip in both manufacturing and adventuring while you're waiting for meters to fill up, it seems to get you moving the fastest, and it was pretty compelling. There's gene upgrading, there's research, there's weapon upgrades, all kinds of little activities inside a game that's wrapped inside of a candy-coated dystopian package that keeps it light and cheeky. Like, there's lots of banter in this title. It kind of reminds me of Grounded in that regard. So from my corner, it looks like this game's got a bright future ahead of it. I'll be keeping an eye on its updates as time goes along, and I can tell that I'm going to sink some serious hours into it once they get it patched up to 1.0. I'll see y'all later. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today I'm on the chopping block. It was StarRupture. Tomorrow it'll be something else. See you later, folks.